Welcome to a preview of a Common Lit feature for delivering mini lessons. This lesson is designed to teach students to analyze and contrast different characters' points of view with the short story, The Stolen Party. What we're about to share with you is a set of slides that teachers would be able to control and use at their own pace during a lesson. This video describes how a teacher might facilitate the lesson in their classroom. Before participating in the lesson, students would have already done a first read of the story. The mini lesson will allow them to analyze the text in a deeper way by reading through the lens of a standards-aligned skill. To get ready for the lesson, I'd introduce the objective to students. We'd review the definition of point of view and do a turn and talk to help them better understand it. Then we'd review some steps for analyzing point of view that we could apply throughout the story. These steps review the definition of point of view for students, explain how we can track it in a story, and give students guiding questions that they can apply to this story and also transfer to the analysis of point of view in other texts. The lesson itself has three main parts: teacher modeling, guided practice, and more independent practice for students. First, I'd model by having us reread the beginning of the text. I'd do a think aloud by asking myself the first guiding question, focusing on one character's point of view. I'd identify evidence and then share my thinking about how this evidence reveals the character's point of view. This next slide would allow me to pause for a moment and ensure that students had annotated their text with the thinking I'd modeled so far. Then students would have an opportunity for guided practice, still with teacher support. We'd continue rereading the story, still focusing on the same character and asking ourselves the same guiding questions. This time, students would have a chance to turn and talk to identify evidence with a partner before we reviewed it as a class. The next slides offer one option for a strong response, so I could correct misunderstandings and ensure that students would continue to annotate the text. Finally, I'd give students the opportunity for more independent practice. I'd give them step-by-step instructions for rereading the next section of the text on their own, this time focusing on a different character. We would review a possible response after students had time to reread and annotate on their own. After the mini lesson, I'd give students instructions for continuing to reread the story and annotating different characters' points of view. Thank you for reviewing our potential feature for mini lessons. We look forward to your feedback.